If I had to give you one tip, trick, or tool that literally changed my business, my life, and my productivity level, it would be calendar blocking. Now, I don't think I do it the same as a lot of people do, because I really don't like to see a bunch of things on my calendar because it stresses me out. But I have found a way to calendar block and plan my weeks that really amps up my productivity, like to the point where I usually get on Thursday or Friday of the week and I'm like, I did everything. And that's weird because as entrepreneurs, as creators, as whatever we are, like actually checking everything off the to-do list is very, very unheard of. I actually filmed this video a couple weeks ago to get out for you a couple of weeks ago, and I did it on like a Sunday night when I would normally plan my week, and in my normal habitat on a Sunday night, I had like no makeup on, my hair up on my head, and it was dark outside, and like I went to edit the video and it was just absolute trash. Like nothing was good about it. Like I was scattered, I was all over the place. I didn't feel like I looked right. And then also like the lighting was horrible. So anyways, I'm excited to be talking through this because again, I truly think this is like one of the things that drastically improved my life, business, and productivity. And I'm all about getting more done in less time so that you can like live more and work less. Like that is my main goal for you here. So yeah, let's dive into calendar blocking. Calendar blocking 101, if you will. Howdy, hey, y'all. My name is Jessica Stansberry. If you are new here, welcome back to my channel. It's a fun time. We have a lot of fun around here. If you have not yet subscribed, you probably should. All right, so first things first, what is calendar blocking? Now, everybody probably has their own definition, but this is really the act of understanding where each amount of time, each hour, each minute, whatever, on your calendar is accounted for. And again, I do not like to see my calendar all packed full of things. Like it makes me itchy and I want to run away. No joke. It's one of the reasons I can't use a paper calendar because I will get overwhelmed and I will just shut that puppy and put it away because I don't want to look at it if it's that crazy. So while calendar blocking does allow us to kind of allot for the time each day and understand what we're going to be doing in each time block or time frame, it also is a way for us to batch tasks together and just overall be more productive. And this is probably the biggest key, it is the best way that I have ever found to put yourself first, to put self-care and your personal things and what you want your day to look like first. So while it might seem a little bit rigid or strict and doesn't feel like it adds freedom, I think it's the best way to add freedom. And I'll explain. And this is coming from somebody who freedom is my number one priority. Time freedom, having the freedom to do things is my number one priority, okay? So I am not someone who wants my days completely packed full of tasks to the point where I get to the end of the day and I'm like, oh my gosh, I did so much. I don't want that. I want to take care of myself. I want to spend time with my family, and I like a loose schedule.
Loose schedule, good.
We like our schedules loose, like our women.
Clever.
Okay, so calendar blocking again, we're really gonna allocate every minute, every hour, however you wanna do it, to a particular task so that we know we're making the most of our time. That's really what it comes down to, okay? You've probably seen people talk about calendar blocking before, and they're from 8 to 9, I'm gonna do this, and from 9 to 12, I'm gonna do that. And it's task specific, so it's from 8 to 9, I'm going to work on this thing. From 9 to 10, I'm going to do this thing. Whatever. And that is not the way I do calendar blocking. So as I run you through how I do this, I want you to keep in mind that you can customize this to whatever you want to do and however you like to run your day and your calendar, okay? So don't think it has to be done in one way. But first and foremost, and really only and foremost, I guess, you need a calendar. Like it can be one of those big desk calendars, it can be a paper planner, it can be a digital planner, it can be a digital calendar, but you need a calendar of some sort so you can actually do this, because if you don't have that, you can't calendar block because you don't have a calendar. I much prefer Google Calendar over anything else, even though I would love to have a paper planner that worked for me, or I would love to have something that was just like more fun and fancy, but Google Calendar is really it for me because it pops up in my face. Like it's gonna pop up on my phone, it's gonna pop up on my computer, it's gonna pop up on like whatever, and I'm going to be able to access it anywhere too. So Google Calendar is my calendar of choice here, but you just need to pick a calendar and then you need to block out times to do things. That's really it. Again, I'm gonna show you how I do it because I think that really like helps people see how they could do it, but understand again that this is not the only way to do things, okay? All right, so before we really jump into the calendar, I want to say one thing first, and that is you are the most important thing on your calendar. Your tasks, your personal things, your self-care, all of that is the most important thing. Your family, you get the point. The personal things are more important than the work things. So when I'm showing you this, you're gonna see that I put in personal things first, because that then dictates how much time I have to work around it, and how much time I have to work around my personal things dictates how many tasks I can do in that time frame. So I've just randomly got a week pulled up in October 21 here on my calendar, and I mean you can do this on the month view, you can do it on the week view, it really doesn't matter. If you click on the week view, you have a bit more visibility as far as like the hours go, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that every single day after 3 p.m. I am done for the day, and that means that I go get my kids and I check into mom mode. And that's because several years ago I learned that if I don't have a separator between mom mode and work mode, that nothing gets done correctly. Nobody feels, nurtured, like my business feels like it's left out, my kids feel like they're left out, I feel like I'm going crazy, and I have to have that separator, okay? So first and foremost, at 3 p.m., I am done every day. There is not ever going to be anything on my calendar past 3 p.m. that has to do with work. Solid, okay? The only instance for that is if, I just have to do an interview or have to do something with someone else on their calendar after 3 p.m. because that's the only time they had available. But for the most part, that's it, okay? So I go into mom mode. Now you'll see here on the calendar that I only have that actually written out on one day. And that's just because Tuesdays are my meeting days. And so if we send my calendar to someone on a Tuesday, I don't ever want there to be an instance where someone accidentally books a call with me past 3. So there's no other instance where someone gets a calendar link and gets access to scheduling a meeting with me on a different day. So I really only have to have that on my calendar on Tuesdays, and I know that I'm off at 3 every other day. Like I don't need to put that in my calendar. So what I want you to do and what I do is I start first with the personal things. And that for me is any appointments, workouts, things like that, okay? So let's say I had a hair appointment, that would go, in here, or if I, had some kind of appointment for my kids, it would already be in here. And we can actually flip back a week and you can see some of those. So like one of my kids had a dentist appointment, I have a hair appointment, that kind of thing. So those would be in there first, and they're non-negotiables. Like those things happen, right? So when I open up the week, the only things on my Google Calendar are time-specific things. Things where I have to show up to a call or an appointment at a certain time. The tasks that I'm doing throughout the week are not listed on my Google Calendar. Again, the reason for that is because I would go crazy. If I opened up my Google Calendar on like Monday and it was like from 8 to 9, you're gonna do this. From 9 to 10, you're gonna do this. From 10 to 10:07, you're gonna do this. Like I would lose my mind. But if your brain works in a way where you need that, then that is okay, okay? But for me, the only things that go on my calendar are time-specific tasks that need to be done. So you'll see here a couple of calls that are happening on my calendar. And you'll actually see here a call that one of my team members has, but I don't actually have to be on that call, so I can work around it. That kind of thing, okay? So that's what's on there. appointments I've scheduled personally and with the business, my kids' appointments, all of that good stuff. And then I look at my week and I schedule out my workouts. Now, I do not always stick to it. Sometimes I move them around. Sometimes I'm like not feeling it, at a certain time and I need to move it back to later in the day. Sometimes I overestimate how long it's going to take me to get ready, like just lots of things. But for the most part, I do go ahead and schedule out my workout time based on what's going on that day. Now, for me, my preferred workout time is like 9:30 to 10:30 because I feel like I'm awake. I can usually work a little bit before that, work a lot after it. I don't feel like it interrupts my day too much, but it's also like in the morning and not first thing in the morning, because if I work out first thing in the morning, I don't work out because I'm too tired. Okay, so on this particular week we're looking at, it looks like I could really work out 9:30 to 10:30 every day. So I don't really have to like plan that workout around calls for this particular week. So what I do is I go in and I just make an event for workout plus get ready. So I just go ahead and include getting ready in the workout time, and I usually just add I usually block this off from 9:30 to 11 or some kind of hour and a half time frame, as I try and keep my workouts to like 30 to 45 minutes, and I can usually do that. So I just go ahead and hit save, and now my workout and get ready is blocked off there. Because I can see that I can do that every day this week, I'll just go ahead and make it repeat every day just for the week. Like I don't need it to repeat every day forever, because then I would have to change it every day. And again, I don't love to look at my calendar and see it completely full. So I try and only do this with the week I'm working with. Okay, so I usually sit down on Sundays and do all of this. And so that way, when I'm looking at my calendar the week ahead, I know what's going on. And then I'll sit down the next Sunday and figure out that next week. So workout and get ready, 9:30 to 11 every day. On Tuesday here, I might switch it around if I want to film videos or something while I already have my makeup done while I'm on this call, which is like what I'm doing today. So it kind of just depends, but that's what I do first. My workout time goes on my calendar first. Then what I do is I take each day individually and I go through and I block off different work blocks. So again, I don't put certain tasks on my calendar. Like I'm not gonna put that I need to work on an email on my Google Calendar, because I don't wanna see that on my Google Calendar. That's gonna go somewhere else, and I'll show you where, okay? So for me, I'm looking at my days, and I have to look at the time available to me. And really my available time every single day, because again, I switch off at 3 p.m. to go into mom mode, is from about 7:15 till 3. So 7:15 in the morning till 3. And the reason for that is my husband takes the kids to school in the morning. I can get started at 7:15, and I usually do go ahead and just get my breakfast and sit at my desk first thing after they leave, so I can get some things done. So what I do then is I go through the calendar and I just block off different work blocks. So this alternates for me on what I call them, but most of the time I'll just do like work block 1, and then work block 2, work block 3. And I usually do change the colors just because I, want to. And so like this one right here, I want the work block to go all the way from 7:15 to 9:30 when I start my workout. So you'll see there now how this is starting to stack up. And again, just like my workout this week, that work block looks like it's gonna be about the same every day. So I can go in here and just go ahead and repeat it just for this week, every single day, ending on the Friday of this week. Once I hit save, it'll do work block 1 across every day on the calendar this week, okay? So then this is where we're gonna start to see things get a little bit different. So here on Monday, my next work block is gonna be after my workout that day, right? So from work block from 11 to 3. Now you will see again that I do have something on my calendar like at 2, but it's not actually my task. It's someone else's on my team. And so I'm just gonna block all the way till 3 o'clock, okay? So here we've got work block 1, get ready, and then I have a call from 1 to 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and put work block 2 here and make this available until 1 p.m. Now, don't think that I'm not like stopping to eat or anything like that, but I'm not gonna schedule my lunch in my calendar. Like, I'm just not. I'm gonna get up and eat when I wanna go eat, right? Like, I don't need to do that. So, cause like, for instance, today, as soon as I get done filming this video, I'm gonna go eat. So I go through the days, and if there's an interruption in my work block, like I have this work block and then I have a call, I start another work block after it. So for this one, this is gonna be a super short work block from 2 to 2:45, which is really the time I have to go get my kids, not necessarily 3. So I do normally actually have that until 2:45 and not 3, but for the purposes of this, it doesn't matter. So Wednesday, we're looking at a full long work block here from 11 to, we'll just do 3 because it's easier, which is normally what I do. And then here again, we've got work block 2. It looks like from 11 to 1. And then I have a call from 1 to 2 and another work block. And I do generally like number my work blocks. The reason for that is that when I'm planning out my week, like when I'm planning out my tasks, I guess I should say, I want to know like which work block to put that task in. So basically I just go through here and do that for every single day. Here we are on Friday. I pretty well have a work block from the time I get done with my workout until I go get my kids. And so we put it in. So when I am planning out my week, this is what it starts to look like, okay? Now, I could totally have a different calendar that shows up over here on the left, which is a little bit out of screen for you right now, but I could totally have a different calendar that is just for blocking off work time. So I could toggle it off and it wouldn't feel like I was, inundated with appointments. So, do whatever you want to do there. But for me, I just make them a different color and that helps my brain out a little bit. So then what I do is I go through my to-do list for the week. And I get my to-do list from a couple different places. I go through my notifications on ClickUp, which is the system that we use to, manage the whole business. So I go through my notifications on ClickUp and see if there's anything that has a due date that's upcoming or that somebody has tagged me in that I haven't done yet. And then I'll write those down and then I'll, put anything on the to-do list that goes on almost every week's to-do list. So for instance, that's like write the weekly email or film videos, because every week, basically I film at least one day a week. Sometimes that's recording podcast episodes. I'm actually batched through the first of the year with my podcast right now, but normally that is something I do every week. So I kind of construct my to-do list based on what my team needs from me, what I know needs to happen every single week, and then also anything we're working on for the future and any tasks I need to do there. So that might be getting in touch with my team and letting them know what's going on with something, or doing something, creating something. It kind of just depends on the week. But I go ahead and just write down all my to-dos for that week. And sometimes I write them on a piece of paper. Sometimes I write them in my Apple Notes. Sometimes I write them in ClickUp. It really doesn't matter. But what I then do is take them from wherever I wrote them and I do put them in ClickUp. So let me show you inside this. So in our ClickUp, we have this fun week view, and I'm pretty well the only one that uses it. Sometimes I will tag my team in things here, but it goes Monday through Friday, and I can put different things. I can tag people in if I don't even know where to put them in ClickUp, or I just want to quickly make a note. But my to-do list lives on this weekly view because then I can segment the tasks based on what day I'm gonna do them. So instead of coming through here and just making a bunch of tasks for Monday, or making a bunch of tasks for Tuesday, or making a bunch for Wednesday, what I have found that works the best for me is for me to create a card specifically for myself and make all the tasks in there and then give them the status of what day I wanna get them done. So let's just say this is gonna be my card for this week. I'm just gonna name it with whatever I want to name it. And then I want to go through and add the subtasks. So, and those subtasks in ClickUp for me are my to-do list. So film 2 videos. Well, that wasn't spelled right. That's okay. Record podcast episode, write weekly email, get tax information to CPA, write emails for YouTube Rockstars launch, Like, I'm just making up things, and I'm also not spelling correctly. I'm just making up things that could be on my to-do list, but essentially that's what I do. I go in here and I dump them, and I just say, okay, this is everything I need to get done. And then here's where the magic happens, and here's where everything we just talked about comes in play, okay? Then I go into my calendar and I see what day makes sense for these tasks to go on, / what time frame makes sense, and where can I bulk like tasks together. For instance, if I have to do a bunch of writing, like I'm gonna write a bunch of emails, that's a very, very similar task, even if the emails are for different things. And if you know anything about the human brain, we like to do similar tasks all together. Because if we have to context switch, if we have to switch from, a task that uses one part of our brain to a task that uses another, we tend to have a harder time with that. And y'all, I have ADHD, and I try not to do that as much as possible because I really do struggle with it. So I go through the list and I just kind of bulk anything together that seems like it might need to go together based on that, that theory. And then I look at my calendar and see kind of what's going on. And I use this as a way to see what tasks are going to get done on what day, and even during which work block, which is pretty cool. So for instance, if I need to film 2 videos and I'm looking at my calendar here and I see that I already have to be camera ready for this Course Academy Q&A that is on my calendar, then I'm probably gonna film those videos in this work block here, rather than having to get totally camera ready another day where I didn't have to anyway. Not that I don't ever on those days, but it saves me some time in the mornings, and sometimes I don't. So I will probably put the filming of videos here. I might put the writing of emails all in one of these early work blocks because I'm never gonna have my hair and makeup done up here because this is before my workout. If I need to record podcast episodes, that might go on a day when I have a longer work block. Or if I need to have a couple of meetings with my team, that might go on a day where I have a longer work block. So then I go into ClickUp and I just kind of segment everything based on my calendar and when I think I can get it done. So filming 2 videos, we're gonna do that on Tuesday because I'm already gonna be makeup ready. We're going to record a podcast episode on Friday. I actually have to record 3 modules for a course, and that's audio work as well. So I'm gonna bulk it with this record podcast episode. I'm gonna write the weekly email and write the emails for YouTube Rockstars launch on Tuesday during that first work block right here, because I can and because they're similar tasks, right? And then get the tax information to my CPA. I can do that first thing Monday morning when, I'm in this work block. And then I can start to see what can I actually get done in a day. And again, I get a lot more done this way because I'm bulking things together and I'm saying this can happen in this work block, and I make sure I get it done in that time frame. So this is how I use calendar blocking. Again, it is not how you have to use it, but it's how I prefer to use it. And some people are going to want to get even more nitty-gritty and specific with it, right? Like they're going to want to come in their calendar and be like, from 7:15 to 8:15, we're going to write emails. From 8:15 to 9:15, we're going to write these emails. From 9 to 9:15, we're going to get ready to work out. From 11 to 1, we're going to film these videos, right? But I don't like to do that. I like to see the available work time. That's what the yellow represents on my calendar. And then take my tasks that I have at hand and assign them to a day based on the time I have. The part that I really like too about ClickUp is that I can sort it by status. So I can see these tasks are for Monday, these are for Tuesday, these are for Wednesday, these are for Thursday. And normally I do have tasks spread across the whole week unless I'm just taking a day off or I know I'm not going to have a ton of time. But most of the time I end up being able to move tasks from one day into another day, and I can either, get way more done than I even expected to get that week, or I can, take an easy day on Friday. Either way is fine. Hopefully that was really helpful and showed you how I get more done, how I use calendar blocking to be way more productive, and maybe even just gave you an idea of how you can too. If you have any questions, let me know below in the comments. And if you're struggling with getting more done every day, if you're struggling with productivity, I'd love to chat about that. So hit me up with whatever your struggles are below in the comments. And until next time, bye y'all.